This is my first X-Wing miniatures game batrep. Had a game the other day with my friend Daniel. I played the Empire and Daniel played Rebels. Here's where was my setup for the Empire. You can see Vader there in the middle. We'll look at some more detail of it. Here you can see on my far left, I had Mauler Mitchell there with marksmanship and Night Beast. Then I had Vader in the middle with expert handling and cluster missiles. I also had Dark Curse next to him, and then just a normal Black Squadron pilot on the far right. Here's Daniel. He had 3 X-Wings all over there in the corner. One of them was Luke. We can further look at his. Yeah, he had Luke, marksmanship, R2-D2, which is a pain in the rear, and some proton torpedoes. And then he had a Red Squadron pilot with R2, F2 torpedoes and Red Squadron with torpedoes. And then here's the setup from a little distance there. Little space mat, just a homemade space mat. I bought some material at a fabric store. It's kind of like a rubber material, and just cut it out, and then got some fabric paint. Made little white dots, and there you go. Actually, a friend of mine, a friend of the family, did it, and she did a fantastic job for me. All right, this is just first move. You can see TIE fighters just moved up. Some didn't do their full advance. Just kind of staying a little cautious. And let me look back. Yes, this is after the X-Wings also moved up, as you can see. And didn't appear they did their full advance. Just yet again being a little cautious there. Another view of them moving up. Here's the next move. You see those 2 TIE fighters on the bottom flew up pretty quickly. There were others kind of stayed the same, moved up a little, and his X-Wings, one of them starting to split off to head over those 2, and the other 2 are kind of staying back a little. Luke Skywalker being one of those. I believe he's the one in the back, but I'm not too sure right now. So you can see his number 1 X-Wing did some damage there to one of my TIE fighters, and then nothing else really happened. Next move, those 2 TIE fighters on the bottom turned to try to start getting a little aggressive. The ones on the top went up trying to take out Luke, see what damage they can do. You can see Vader put a target lock on the X-Wing in front of him, and the X-Wing in front of him then in turn put one on Vader as well. So, TIE fighter at the top, Luke took him down. He didn't do anything, and Luke destroyed him. On the bottom there, you see I put 2 damage on the X-Wing. Vader used one of his target locks for some rerolls there, and X-Wing did some damage to that TIE fighter in front of him. Did 2 damage, only has 1 left on him. So this is the one that was killed by Luke, was Mauler Mitchell. So with marksmanship, it was a sucky loss there. Next go around, this is just the next moving. Everyone just kind of spinning all over the place. Try to get the ties over there to Luke, and the other one and his X-Wing moved forward some. Vader didn't do too much. You can see it looks like Luke, or one X-wing put a target lock on one of my ties, and Luke put a target lock on one of my other ties. And here we go. You can see Vader moved up and wiped out his X-wing pretty quickly. And I'm sorry, I took this previous picture was actually before I moved Vader, and then I moved Vader, and it moved perfect. He moved perfectly. Excuse me, right up and wiped out that X-wing pretty quickly. However, he did. It appears he did. Let's see. Vader lost a shield, I believe. And then Luke put 2 damage on my TIE fighter back there. And one of my TIE fighters did a crit on his X-wing. And there was the crit, a structural damage, you can see. And right now, Luke has 1 shield on him, but not to worry. R2 will bring that back. So here's some more movement. I did some hard turns for my TIE fighters, and so I could flip them around so they have some stress on them. Vader was just kind of slowly turning, and Luke and his buddy are trying to close in on Vader. Vader put a target lock on Luke, actually, and so let's see where we go there. So my X-wings opened fire on, my TIE fighters opened fire on one of his X-wings and did some damage and a crit to him. And it appears I didn't take a picture of what that crit was. You can't see it, so sorry about that. And I believe he has that R2, F2, I think is what he was. And I think he can, if you roll a dice, you can remove a critical effect or something like that. I'm not too sure. Maybe he removed the last one. Sorry, I'm not too positive on that. Here we go. After this turn, Vader yet again just trying to sweep around. The X-wings moving forward. The TIE fighters moving forward, and the X-wings trying to get back into action, trying to turn around. Well, Luke there wiped out one of my TIE fighters, and I think he lost some shields during that little fight, and he did a hard turn, so he has a stress token on him. The other X-wing is, still trying to get back into the game right now. And this is how that TIE fighter was wiped out. He hit him once and did a crit, and the crit was 2 damage. So, boom, shaka-laka. And this is, oh, God, I suck at this. So it appears, let's go back, that I might have mistaken a picture during a move. Okay. So this was the next action sequence. And Vader used some cluster missiles and did a damage and a direct hit crit to Luke Skywalker. Wiping out his shields and doing some good damage to him. And then one of the other X-wing wiped out one of my TIE fighters. So Vader's moving forward. I think that's Luke right behind him. The other X-wing at the bottom. The other X-wing at the bottom, boom, wiped out another TIE fighter. Vader and 2 X-wings left. Vader trying to move away, trying to reorganize himself, as you can see. Luke has a target lock on him. Luke's got his 2 shields. He has some good damage on him. Vader's got 1 shield left. Here's where, after a move, yet again, it didn't take a picture of a move. Pretty horrible. But Luke came right up on Vader, had a great shot on him, and I luckily was able to, as my action, make a barrel roll, and barrel rolled right into the base of Luke, making it to where he could not shoot at me because we were base to base. It worked out perfectly and really made me realize what barrel rolls were good for, because before I wasn't too sure. So then Vader did a stress action hard maneuver. You can see Luke actually turned around, probably wasn't too sure what I was going to do, and the other X-Wing trying to come into Vader. Next move, it looks like here, and I'm sorry, it's been a few days since this game, and it looks like I've missed out on some pictures. I need to get better at this. Apollo 13. And then boom, Vader wiped out X-Wing. Father and son left. This is how we do it. Start making bets right now who you think's going to win, suckers. 1 shield left on Vader, 2 shields left on Luke. Vader has target lock on Luke. And I said earlier Luke had it on Vader, I think, but I was wrong. Moving up, I think Luke was out of, he couldn't shoot at Vader here. Vader was out of his zone, I believe. No. Yes. Vader shot at him, took down both his shields. Moving up again, Luke just, made some poor moves, trying to figure out what Vader was going to do, you could see. And Vader's move, perfect, right into Luke. And Luke put a target lock on Vader, but it wasn't going to help him much. He got 1 shield back, and then Vader unleashed his wrath. And Luke went downtown. Here's all the TIE fighters killed. You can see he took out 4 of them, and just Vader left, and only 2 X-Wings down, but X-Wings are much more powerful. So it's a fun game. We like this game a lot. Can't wait to get more of the expansions. We just got Y-Wings in, X-Wings. Want to get the TIE fighter expansion, and then I can't wait for the Slave 1 and Millennium Falcons to come out, because they're going to change the game and really the dynamics of it and just how that stuff works. So, hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about my crappy picture taking and lack thereof. But, alright, honkies. Peace out.